Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. I am here with your weekly tarot and oracle reading. So this reading is for the week of August 29th. If you are not aware yet, we are in Virgo sun season, but we also have Virgo in Mercury, Virgo in Mars. And so I thought I'm going to feel into this energy and kind of go with the theme of Virgo. Virgo is the Virgin in astrology. And I kind of have felt this sense of this, you know, when we think about not so much in terms of purity per se, but in terms of purifying. I have actually felt this energy of releasing and cutting off from. And so what I've been doing personally is taking account of, you know, when you come to this time of year, when we're moving, you know, we've moved into, or moving into the sign of Virgo, we're leaving this energy of the summer where we were very, you know, very outgoing, and we were, you know, we were outdoors, you know, especially if you're in the northern hemisphere and it was summer. But it's very much, you know, I've been taking an account of what has this time of year, like what has shown up for me in this time of year throughout my life. And so for me, it's kind of given me a bit of a enlightening as to what kind of happens for me around this time of year, and how have I either been partaking of that energy or completely dismissing it. So I think about, you know, the times where blessings came into my life around this time of year and what it was relating to. And for me, it's a lot around career, where, you know, these kind of life-changing opportunities kind of show up for me, and that's just me. It really is starting to be this thing of how am I actually showing up, and if it doesn't feel good in my body to show up in that way, if it doesn't feel pure to me, if it doesn't feel authentic, it just doesn't feel right to show up. And that's what I'm finding myself feeling more into. And it's just like last week's reading of feeling into the no in your body. And that's I think where this Virgo energy is really starting to have a bit more of an influence. But this week feels like, no, I should definitely do, you know, a regular reading. So let's see. So what do I have here? What do I have this little setup that I have? I've got the purpose candle here. This is the chakra that is attached to your purpose, but it's also, you know, this is also a Virgo candle, Virgo candle, Virgo chakra. I've got some charged full moon water here that's also kind of indicative of that purification process that, you know, and we talk about cleansing, right? And sometimes it's not so much that we're cleansing to wash away bad things. It's actually cleansing to wash away what is blurring us from seeing the truth and from owning the truth. So in essence, we're only washing away things that might be clouding our vision. So maybe accolades or even insults we're washing away those things so we can see the truth for ourselves. I have the unicorn here. One, I love unicorns, and two, it is said that only the pure can touch, a unicorn would only approach like a pure soul. So I put the unicorn up here, and of course it's crystal, so it's clear. And of course I've got my my quartz crystals, my selenite, which I always like to have anyway. I've got a little clear crystal ball thing here. And I also have a mother magnet, just kind of like pulling in all this purification and, just really highlighting that for this reading. So let's look at, first I want to take a look at the Virgo card, since we have a lot of Virgo going on in the current astrology. Virgo, I believe, is also the Hermit, which makes sense. We're shining our light and going through darkness to pull forward the things that are going to give us guidance going forward. So let me see. I'm just going to put this Hermit card here. Hermit is your guidance and your teachers. It's your self-knowledge, it's internal focus, and it's you shining your light alone. So it's also, a time, it's good to take time for yourself during this Virgo season. Hermit is the number 9. And the number 9, again, is, well, I've talked about this extensively, but the number 9 is about independence. It's like that one step just before the fullness of the number 10, right? But it's about singular independence. Yes. Okay, so let's get out one of my favorite decks here, the Dream Enchantress deck. I like this one because it has like fairies and all these fantasy creatures on them. And it's also my very first full-size tarot deck. Well, standard size, full size. Okay. All right. I call in my Ascended Masters and Teachers to come into this reading with some guidance for the collective for the week of August 29th, 2021. Thank you so much, Spirit. And again, I kind of wanted to just celebrate the Virgo, right? In the astrology that is currently happening. Okay, awesome. 1. Thank you. Wow, okay. Whee. Wow, okay, Spirit, you got a lot to say, huh? Okay. Guys, whew, wow. So let's take the first one out there, and then we've got 3 here, and then we've got 2 here. We got these, and then I think, yeah, all of these kind of came out pretty much together. All right, let's see if I can get these in line. Wow. Okay. Cool. Okay. All right. So we got a lot of cards out here. First card is the Empress. These came out in a trio. But we've got the Devil, the 2 of Pentacles, and the 8 of Pentacles. We've got the Knight of Pentacles and the Tower. They actually kind of came out together. The Page of Swords, King of Cups, And these also kind of came out together. So we've got the King of Pentacles, the Chariot, and the Three of Swords. So we have a lot of major arcana energy going on here, which kind of speaks to themes. And the overarching theme is, what are we creating? What are we bringing forth from this independent feminine energy? And it looks like there could be a toxic relationship that is balanced out, and you actually find some sort of creativity coming out of it. Because I'm looking at the Devil, this Two of Pentacles, and the Eight of Pentacles. And when I look at the two, first, so the Empress is about, what are we bringing forth? What are we creating? What comes out from the Empress? Because the Empress is not just, a regular queen. This is someone who has an empire. And in the tarot, you have the Fool card as 0, the Magician as the number 1, the High Priestess is number 2, and it's almost as if you're nearing that High Priestess energy, but you're moving forward in the journey of the tarot. So it's as if you now have this sort of high spiritual understanding, and now you've moved into Empress energy. And Empress basically envelops all of the other queens in the tarot deck, and it really just speaks to, this is how an empire begins. It doesn't begin with an emperor. It begins with an empress. It begins with a woman giving creative energy, a feminine creative energy. And it could even be something related to the earth, natural resources, things like that. But how do we work in Congress with that? How do we work with that energy of the Empress and the idea of the earth? It becomes us coming down to earth and really understanding that we have the ability to enact change. And that's what differentiates, I believe, the Empress, right, from the High Priestess. The High Priestess is very much a guide. The Empress takes action. The Empress can direct how things get made, if they get made. And so the Devil coming up in this, basically, to me it says there is almost this alchemy of something that was once toxic in the past getting balanced out. And I see in this Eight of Pentacles, you have this worker in a like an art studio making these creations, and it's evident from all the pentacles up here and posted on the side. This person has an understanding of the process. So there could be something that has happened to you in the past that you have learned to alchemize or process into something successful. So regardless of what you go through, you now have a mature understanding of this thing, right, that's happened to you almost over and over again, and now you have a mature outlook on it. It doesn't bother you or harm you like it did when it first started happening, or when it happened a second time or a third time or a fourth time. It's like you now have an alchemical process to balance out what has happened either to you, to your resources. You understand that energy. And now we have the Knight of Pentacles with the Tower. Now the Knight of Pentacles, usually to me that's the idea of some sort of an offer arriving. And a lot of times, we see the Tower, and the Tower brings this you know, there, if we look at it from just a regular, oh, I pulled the Tower card out of the deck, and it's funny, you know, we still have this theme, right, of we still have this theme of Pentacles, right? So the Tower is essentially, we are losing something that we've built up, or maybe this is sort of like an ego death, or maybe it's something that we thought was going to last has been knocked down, or someone from your past. This is how it's being balanced out, is this offer is coming in because someone from your past had some sort of a kind of like a falling down experience, or is experiencing an ego death. And maybe they're coming to you with an offer so that you can like try and help them fix it. I don't know why I'm reading that in this reading, but you know, if it resonates, great. If not, also great. But the thing is that, you know, I talk about the Tower. So it's a shocking thing, right, that happens, and we can see this lightning bolt that's come out of the sky and is, you know, has knocked over this huge statue over this town. And what do you think is going to happen once this thing all crumbles? It's going to fall right into this town, and it's going to cause devastation. And so it's something that happens out of the blue, but the thing is that it was supposed to happen. And it was supposed to happen to help you understand again how to rebuild, which is confirmed here, right, in this Devil, Two of Pentacles, and Eight of Pentacles trio here. Wow. I think if something does start to have like a rumble of it falling down, I want you to, you know, regardless of what this reading is saying, I want you to remember that you have a process of survival. You have a process of regeneration. You have a process of renewal available to you at all times. At all times. No questions asked. So let's move on to the rest of the reading. We've got the Page of Swords. The Page of Swords to me is like there's messages coming in, but they're not quite fully formed. Pages are usually maybe new ideas or new communications, things like that, or maybe even hints of clarity. But a lot of times it is communication or thoughts, right? So you might be getting new ideas from this, you know, from this situation that you're now finding yourself recovering from, or needing to recover from. You might be getting messages. You might be getting maybe even dream offers. Things that you never thought would be available to you are now coming in, which is so weird. Wow, what a reading. So now we have the King of Cups. The King of Cups is, this is a very mature masculine. Well, okay, let's put it this way. Mature energy, masculine or feminine. It doesn't have to be a male or female, but it could just embrace the attributes of being someone who is in control of their emotions, someone who is, oh gosh, what's the word? I don't want to say therapist, but someone who's very emotionally intelligent, and someone who knows when to offer those feelings or when to even back off. So it could be you, it could be someone you're dealing with, or it could just be that the situation kind of reflects that energy at that point. Or maybe you have this idea of wanting to be available for like emotional relief or emotional release for someone else. And maybe that's kind of like along the lines of your dream opportunity that, you know, you might be getting communication about. And it could be like an apprenticeship too, like an internship or like some sort of a certificate. As I said, we're going into, in the US, we're going into school season, so maybe you're getting an opportunity to go back to school. Who knows? So now let's look at the final 3 cards that came out. We've got the King of Pentacles, the Chariot, and the 3 of Swords. So it looks like you're going into something very successful, because the King of Pentacles is very much an entrepreneur, or entrepreneurial energies. Maybe you're thinking of starting a business. Maybe you are, and or maybe someone wants to help you start a business. It could be that you're very much in control of your resources. Maybe you are getting a job offer that is like a higher, like a CEO level. And of course, the Chariot is all about success. And we've got, I think the moon is moving into Cancer tomorrow. So that might be a little bit of an indicator too. But then the 3 of Swords kind of gets thrown in. And here, it's not so much that I think that there's anything, I don't see anything really bad in this 3 of Swords. I really just think it might be conflicting communication or conflicting ideas, or maybe even it's hard for you to make a choice as to a direction you want to go once you get into this success mode. So it's probably a good idea to be very clear on what you want. And really, when you get to this point of, if you get to this point of, things seem to be falling apart and these communications start coming in, before you even get to, oh yeah, that's my dream, let's, take into account that the Page of Swords is very youthful, very young, can be very excited. So when you get to this point and someone is communicating with you or you are communicating with them, make sure it's very on point. Make sure all your questions or inquiries are answered, and you have a really good idea of where you're going, because what you don't want, or at least what you want to try and avoid, is these conflicts in communication. So yeah, or even if you're looking at maybe putting systems together, I'd say I laugh because of the whole like systems engineering and all that stuff is kind of up my alley. So if you're working on building a communication system, or building maybe you're working on your business and you're building like a client intake, maybe make sure that those lines of communication are direct and not confusing, things like that. So bottom of the deck here, we have the 10 of Cups. 10 of Cups is all about emotional fulfillment. You see we have the fairy here sitting under the water in the middle of a sea. I think that's pronounced anemone, and I can't remember. But she seems very content. She seems very happy. She's not being bothered by anyone. She's comfortable. She's in her home place. So the 10 of Cups, we talk about cups as emotional spaces. It could be that all the relationships surrounding you feel supported. Your environment feels supportive. Where you are in life feels supportive. Regardless of what you're going through, you now understand and have the confidence that you know how to work things out, right? Okay, so let's get some guidance for this week. What am I going to do? Guidance. Let's do spirit animal, because we've got the Empress here, and I kind of want to connect with this earth energy that the Empress is bringing right off the bat. I'm going to put this up here. Okay. I hope you all were able to see. Probably not all the cards, but all right. Call on my divine ascended guides and ancestors to come into this reading with some guidance for this overall reading for the week of August 29th, 2021. Thank you so much, Spirit. Whoa, right off the bat. Wow. Phoenix, one of my favorite cards. There we go. Phoenix. Let's see. Can you guys see that? Yeah, I'll put it forward a little bit. All right. So let's go ahead and read Phoenix. That is actually one of the spirit cards in this animal spirit deck. Phoenix, freedom from suffering and past karma, reincarnation. The phoenix represents the transformation of our past. It doesn't mean running from it, denying it, or burning bridges with rage. The phoenix employs an advanced technique described in yoga as the burning of impurities through practice and dedication. Tapas, I think. The essence of the phoenix is with us when we realize we have been suffering too long and something must change. We take a stand and decide to live consciously instead of being driven by the unconscious mind. You know what, and this is very much a Virgo. This is very much a Virgo essence here of this purification process and this renewal. Virgo is an earth sign, but when we think about the phoenix, right? This is, oh my gosh, how amazing is this? So even though, you know, it's fire, right? Phoenix burns itself out back into ashes. That is part of the earth energy. But when it fires back up, when it reinvigorates and reinvents itself, you know, it's back into this fire being. So it's very much something that comes from the earth initially and then ends up fire. I just thought that was, you know, the purification of fire, the purification of water, it all is meant to make us whole. Okay, I will continue. At that very moment, the spark of the phoenix is lit, and the great bird helps us burn through our baggage. We no longer run from who we are, what has happened to us, or what we have done. The stuckness and dead weight fall into the ashes, and a lightness and clarity emerge. As the stagnancy continues to smolder, the phoenix lifts our spirits up, and we begin to recognize ourselves again. We may catch a glimmer in our eye that wasn't there before. Look closely. It's a sign the fire of transformation is upon your wings. So let's talk about the phoenix and the first chakra. The ancient yogis believe that our heaviest karmas reside in the first chakra. This earthen center is also called Muladhara, or our root. The ascent of the phoenix begins here, and as the entanglement of karmas is slowly burned, it rises from the ash toward the navel center. Yeah, toward the navel center, toward our purpose, our solar plexus. Wait, is that solar plexus? Yes, solar plexus. Sorry. Again and again, it makes this journey from first to third chakra, purifying our essence, freeing us from the past. So yeah, this Virgo season is definitely a purification process. As you can see, Spirit is telling us, you know, this is what is happening. And even if this exact reading does not apply to you, hopefully you're learning something about feeling into the energies that are coming in, being available, like safely available to feel into the energies and feeling into your body and feeling your own truth and your own purification transformation process. This has been the weekly reading. I hope you have enjoyed it, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.